What's going on, guys? My name is Paul, and in this video we're going to go over how to source the best products for your Amazon wholesale business while also reviewing Keepa, making sure that you're looking at Keepa the best way possible to reduce any costs and mistakes while not missing out on any profit opportunities for your wholesale business. Now, Third-Party Profits is a tool to allow sellers just like yourself start and grow their Amazon wholesale business with less time, less resources, and just be able to scale. This is the process I use to be able to scale my company to over 8 figures. Every single Tuesday, we have a live coaching call at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time where you can jump in as a user, or maybe if you're not even a user and you just want to connect with other sellers and ask questions to be able to grow and scale your wholesale business. That link will be down below. Save it to your calendar. Hope you guys enjoy the video. So we're going to go over how to review certain Keepa graphs like how we did last week, and just to prove upon how we're sourcing. You know, what buys would we pass on? What products would we buy? Just trying to better understand how we can make money in the marketplace with specific items that maybe you'd pass on, stuff like that. So I'm just going to share my screen and then we'll go. Let's see here. Okay. All right. I got multiple tabs open. All right. So first thing is, item is a variation listing. It does not show any indication of sales. Now I do see the offer count fluctuating, so that is a good sign. Keepa graph so far looks pretty healthy in terms of price, even though Amazon is on the listing. They are priced above FBA. Just based on this Keepa graph, I'm definitely going to take a look at it. And if I look at the all time, I can also see that Amazon really hasn't had that much of a presence. Now, before we jump into this, I want to kind of, last week, for those that were on the call, I was talking about a specific Keepa graph and recognizing something. So this graph, okay, so Delk said it's merged. Awesome. So yes, the listing is merged, right? So this specific rank is going to be a rank for a different item, where in reality, this is really what the rank is. So now that I know that the product's selling at 27, this is kind of what I can anticipate to sell this product at in terms of the rank, right? So like, this is a fairly high ranked product. You know, offer count is going down, so people are selling through inventory, but we're going to take a look into the offers tab and just take a look to see if people are actually selling any inventory. So it does look like Amazon sold some inventory, and this elite e-commerce group has also sold. Now they've sold it at $27.49. And then if we look at the last, but here's the thing though. Does anyone see, for me personally, you guys see any red flags here?
10 sold in the last 30 days.
Okay, so there's a low sales velocity. Anything else? Nothing? No one wants to chime in? Anyone seeing any red flags? Any other red flags?
Excess inventory. I mean, that guy has 900 units.
Say that again.
900 units. Why? If you scroll up a little here, that's sold. Okay.
Yes.
I thought that's stock. Okay.
Yeah. But you're going in the right direction though. You said stock, and that's exactly what I'm personally looking at.
Yeah. Sorry,
right?
I just saw it. It's right there. The Amazon listing. They're gonna kill you.
Yeah. So like right now, based on the data that's here on this offers tab, there's 99 units in stock, but it only indicates that 10 has been sold. So a little bit of my concern is that there is, you know, Amazon, remove Amazon from this equation, right? Amazon's not winning the buy box on this listing. What I'm really concerned about is going to be like this elite e-commerce group, this guy Wholesale, and then the new mall in Air Warehouse and Spiro Goods, right? So there's multiple third-party sellers. Like this guy has at least 3 months worth of inventory just for this product, and he just came in stock. Like literally, he just got 30 units in stock. So based on how fast this item sells, I mean, we haven't even looked at the profitability of the product yet. So if we go back, our cost, just the ASIN cost, is $10.92. So I mean, the margin is good, $27.64. It is a very profitable product, but I am just a little bit concerned with the velocity of the product compared to how much stock is on the listing. So, I mean, this is an item that we're going to save. You know, we're going to add it to our folder just to keep it in our back pocket. We took the time to look at it. Also, something I would consider is if it's selling as a case quantity. So it looks like it is. That's also a plus because that is a lower labor cost on an item like that. But we're just going to save in folder and we're just going to move on, right? So like this is an item that I'm just going to keep on my back pocket. Good lead, profitable, all-time profitable. Looking at the listing, right? It's been selling at that $29 range, but just based on the current data right now on this listing, I just don't think I want to buy it. Now let's look into this next one. Bob's Red Mill, pack of 2. So that's coming up as a pack of 2, 12% margin before expenses, 15/10s or cost. All right, so far this Keepa graph looks really, really solid. However, there is a variation listing. There is 50 plus bought. It does look like the offer count is also depleting on the listing, which is a good sign. So it went from 22 to 14. So that is a positive. Now our cost is 15/10. So 390 a sale, consistently profitable. This would be a good item so far based on the data. Look at the offers tab, just get a gauge. And also we'll take a look at the buy box statistics as well. All right, so we can see that Vitamins to Go has been selling some inventory. Since June, he had around 50 units stocked. This is a very good depletion of inventory here. So he had around 51 units. He has 10 units left. You know, over the course of the past, call it, 2 months, he sold around 60 pieces just for himself alone. So at $389 in profit times 60, this item is making $233 in profit per month for him alone, not including anyone else on this listing. Yes, Axe.
Hey, Paul. Sorry, I disconnected for a minute, but what filters did you give?
For the software?
Yeah.
So what I did, and just to let you know, so the pricing for Keepa is based on promotional pricing. So that's what I always like to source off of Keepa for. But the filters that I used was, and we'll go to set columns and filters. So we had the supplier filter just under Keepa. We had the profit per sale that was greater than $2. We have the profit margin that's greater than 10%. We have a rank that's between 1 to 250,000. And then we have profit on we're approved to sell, and then the profit per sale over the course of the past 30 days as being greater than 2. I like to use this profit per sale filter. That way I just remove items that just might have recently popped up as being profitable, but in reality over the course of like historical data, it's just not really that profitable.
Okay, so that's new, that profit per sale over 30 days. I haven't seen that before. Maybe I didn't notice it.
Yeah, I would say about maybe like a month ago we added it. I would recommend to look at a longer period of data. I honestly think I made a mistake with this 30 days. I look at like 180 to 365, but you know, you could look and see that like on these items, like this product here, for an example, like this item was unprofitable for 90 days, but historically it was profitable at $1.65. Like, you know, for me personally, what I'm looking at in my business is whether it's a binary question of, am I going to lose money or am I going to make money? Like, even if I make, let's say, a 10% net ROI, I would rather 10% than make 0.
If you guys have been enjoying the video so far and you're not yet a third-party profits user, click the link down below to start a free trial today.
So, and I think the majority of people would probably agree with that. So in my head, as long as I'm not losing money on a product and I look at the Keepa graph, then everything makes sense.
Got it. Thank you.
You're welcome. Yes.
I think I asked you this question before, but I don't remember what you said. So about the profit per sale for 30 days, when you use that filter, do you also have just a normal profit filter set, or do you only use that one? Okay, you use both?
Yep, and pretty much
because you want to make sure it's profitable now.
Exactly. So I'm pretty much telling the software, like, hey, I want to look at a profitable product that's profitable right now, and it's also been profitable for a longer period of time.
All right, thank you.
You got it. So like this to me, like I always talk about this, and like I'm just going to continue to talk about this because this is personally how I build my wholesale business. And you know, my goal is to help everyone build a successful business on Amazon because there's more than enough to go around. And like the way that I've been able to grow my business is just focusing on products like these. Like it's not about selling these gold mine items. Like, sure, are there items that rip that 5,000 in grocery or like 2,000 in health and household that sell well that you can make a lot of money off of? Like, yeah, of course they exist, but they come up organically in the process of sourcing it, right? Like the way that I like to think about it is if you're specifically trying to look for what I would consider the needle in the haystack product, you're gonna have a tough time finding it. Whereas if you're just like sourcing and you're just trying to find items that make a few $100 a month in profit, like organically, you just kind of go through that motion and eventually you will find an item and you're like, damn, I can make $800 a month from this. Yeah, I can make, you know, $1,200. But like even a B to A tier product, like this item is a perfect Keepa graph. This is an item that I'm so happy to find in my business. Any item that can make a few $100 in profit per month is a win, especially because, you know, these pump and dump products, it's literally just a game of items like these that are niche products that sell a few hundred times a month. You capture 30 sales, 40 sales of a product, you sell it at $4 in profit, $3 in profit, and you just find multiple items like that. Yes, Axe.
Hey, so in your filters, I noticed you didn't give any Amazon filters to remove Amazon.
Yes.
Why?
For products like this. So an item like this, where I'm sourcing is in the stalker. So the biggest thing for me in the stalker is that I'm looking over products that someone else found. You know, they've done the hard work for me. They found the items, they found the margins and the profits and that sells. And they, like I said, they did the hard work. Whereas on, let's say, a scanner where the quality of the items that I'm looking through are less. So, you know, the stalker is great because they're able to find high quality leads. But the challenge, the negative about the stalker is that you're almost constantly playing catch up, right? Someone's beating you to that listing. Whereas using something like a scanner or manual sourcing or however you source, that will help you get to a listing potentially faster. So the reason why I'm not using Amazon is, like I said, because someone else has looked at the listing and said, all right, well, Amazon's on the product, or maybe they're on the product, but I could sell it. You know, I want to take what they took into consideration and then think about it for myself as a seller to see if it makes sense for me too.
Got it. But if you were in the scanner, then you would give the Amazon filter.
Exactly. Yes. Because I'm looking at leads that are so much less qualified.
Got it. So same filters plus Amazon.
Yes.
Got it. Thank you.
You're welcome. So like this product here, we're going to add to our RPO. We're going to move it over into our PO. Buyer, we'll put Susie, polybag bundle, estimated sales, call it, what was that? I think it was like 36 units. 72, $90 in profit on 36 units. That's what we're going to test, and we'll come back to that product. All right, next item here. So this is a pack of 6. Products unprofitable, pack of 6. Take a look at Keepa. Looks pretty consistent here. $13.92. All right, another Keepa graph. Super consistent. Offer count is depleting, which is a good sign to see because it means people are selling inventory. However, there isn't a monthly sold that's popping up. It is also a variation listing. Let's first see, and I think the brand's also on the listing too. So profit before expenses is 12%, 356. Brand is on the listing. Where is this fly? Let's see what's going on here. All right, there we go. All right, so on the buy box statistics, brand has 30%. Other sellers here have 35, 33, 29, 2. So 29, 29, right? So even if we go down and we lower that price, which I think our cost was 13, right? So if we go just a little bit lower in price based on historical data of these other sellers, we're looking at like a 10% gross margin. It clearly doesn't sell that well. So I'm just going to move on from this item. I'm not going to even save it. I really don't care about it. Bob's or Mill, another Bob's or Mill product, $9.69, 11% gross margin, $230 in profit, $111 in profit in total monthly profit. That seems pretty good. Let's see here. All right, another Keepa graph, very consistent, selling at $19.59. $1.82 before any discounts. Offer counts also going up. Pricing was at 2071. So 222. I mean, it is a sticker, but it's not really that profitable. Now, this is an item that I would say that you would want to try to get a discount on. Wait, our cost is $9.69. Oh, it's up there. All right. So $9.69, 2002, $19.99. 223. What are your guys' thoughts and opinions on a product like this? I want to hear your guys' thoughts. What's the rank? The rank, well, let's look at the offers tab because it is a variation listing. So it looks like this person at 18, they sold 5 since the 13th. So they could sell realistically 36 units a month for themselves. 22 to 12, they sold about 12 in a month. This seller sold, that's back in May though. So call it 50 units a month. You guys passing. Okay. All right. Next item. Pack of 3, Grandpa's soap. Now, something that I also want everyone to to kind of grasp on the tool is I think that when people initially signed up for the tool, and maybe still to today, that there's a little bit of confusion around the preferences in the buy box percentage and why that this exists in terms of the sales estimates. So for anyone that maybe doesn't know, just to clarify, so like where we get sales from is when you open up a listing and then on Amazon it says, 100 plus bought in the past month. And then depending on what depending on what your preferences are. So this says 200. So this is where we pulled it. Depending on where your preferences are in the tool, will tell you what your quantity would be. So it seems like right now this is set up for the percentage would be set up for 100. But the reason why that we have the buy box statistics is to give users an actual idea of the monthly cash flow of a product. Like that was the goal, right? The goal is to think from the lens of building out a portfolio of items that can make a few $100 a month in profit. I can find items that are in this sweet spot. Like sometimes what I like to do, and I've mentioned this before, but sometimes what I like to do is I like to put floors and ceilings on the software. So what I mean by that is like, I like to put a bottom filter and a top filter. So for an example, this product here where it says I can make $10,000 in profit per month, that is false, right? Like that's just, I'm not going to make 10 grand a month. This product's going to be off, like the pack size is going to be off. So what I could do is I could either sort by monthly profit. So let's say I want to focus on items that make more than $75 in profit per month. And then that way now I can remove any products that I wouldn't be able to make at least $75 in profit per month, as long as your settings are set up the proper way. So then that, you can sell, if you're able to find 5 items in the course of a day that make $200 in profit per month, you just found $1,000 of profit. And then you do that over the course of every single day, or you do that multiple times a week, and quickly you start to build a very nice business on Amazon. Yes, Kyle.
Hey, Paul. 2 things. I came into this thing a little bit late. Please tell me you're recording this and you're going to post it.
Yes, I am. And I'm
okay. Thank you very much. Second, something I recently, this is a little bit off topic, but since it's a TPP call, something I realized I did wrong. So everyone knows I'm only like a month into this actually selling stuff, was I was putting in my costs and not actually putting in the landed cost. So I'm assuming you have everything on your end configured for landed cost, because that's what your cost is overall, right?
Yeah. So with the landed cost, you can go into preferences. Depends on what you're looking for, right? So like in the stalker and the scanner, when you set up these costs, they're estimates rather than what true values would be. So like per pound, you'd set the cost here, let's say 30 cents, and then you put an async cost, let's say of like 50 cents, and then you hit submit. And then now on that landed cost, it would then populate as those additional costs to get you to a landed cost as a net cost.
Because I was trying to figure out why, when I broke down on my own, some of my products weren't as profitable as I thought. When I put all the way I have the preferences set, it wasn't making it into a section on the TPP because I didn't have a landed column. And so I'll probably end up scheduling something with you just to go over the user interface again, just to make sure I have everything.
Sure. And something I would recommend to look into is going to be your prep expenses. So like your prep expenses are different than the preferences that you have. I don't want to make it confusing, but like I said, the scanner and the stalker is for you to estimate what it costs to be for a product. Now, when you find an item, like let's say we open up this Bob's Red Milk product.
I already have all my shit set at like 80 or 85 cents just to be a little overly cautious.
Gotcha. Yeah. So like when you click on this item, let's say you want to save this product and then you assign it a prep type, like you're going to see the profit margins at 7.75. But if you assign a prep type to sticker, that's going to change the margin. Or if I change it to glass, that would change the margin. So when you tag a product with a specific prep type, that prep type now follows that item inside of your system forever. So preferences are set up as the estimate, so you can source profit products based on what your true cost would be. And then when you save it, it actually becomes nearly as close to your true cost, your landed cost estimate as it could be.
Thank you.
You got it. All right. We'll jump back into this. All right. So this product here, $6.69. $2.12 profit per sale. $106 in profit, 12% margin, 32% on. I don't know. Let's take a look at the Keepa graph. All right, we'll take a look at it. Now the reason why all right, before I say why, I want to know if there's any reason why based on what I did. One thing.
Amazon.
Okay, Amazon's on the listing, yes, but
Merge listing? No. The IP complaint, big drop.
no. So this right here is actually the price. This is an
Okay. So I haven't on my glasses. Okay. So what Amazon is one reason I know.
It's actually not.
Okay.
So even though Amazon's on the listing, I can see that the price is below Amazon's price, right? This is Amazon's priced at $22-23, but other people are priced at $12 to $16. So then what that tells me is that there's a potential that actually you could be selling in this product based on the blue line being below the orange.
I didn't know that. Oh, okay.
Yeah. But is there, I want to see if anyone's going to pick up what I mean, I want to share it with you guys, but I want to see if anyone can pick it up. Anyone? You have no idea.
The ranking is going higher? Yeah.
No.
The offer count's dropping?
No.
We're strictly looking at your graph, trying to figure it out, right?
Yes. Looking at the graph.
I would say if Amazon is a higher price steady the whole time, then why would Amazon give the buy box low sellers? Like, what would Amazon's motivation be to keep it so high if they're not dominating the buy box?
So no, but I'm going to elaborate a little bit on that for you just to kind of fill you in. So Amazon buys from distributors. They buy from companies like Hey, for an example, or like UNFI, the same way that we would. Now, even though Amazon's on a listing does not mean that they're going to like come after you, meaning that they're going to like steal the buy box, because actually there's a lot of items that they sell where their costs are higher or they're like following a MAP policy. Now, that being said, there is something called Vendor Central, which means that a brand is sending directly to Amazon. Like, they're essentially Amazon's distributing for them, where there's a direct relationship. So rather than Amazon buying from a distributor where there is no contact with the brand the same way that we would, there's another side of the equation where there's something called Amazon exclusive, where Amazon will absolutely dominate a buy box on a listing. And that's when the pink line, no matter where Amazon goes, follows the Amazon orange. And that's how you're going to get a pretty good indication that there's like an Amazon exclusive on a listing. And I'll try to see if I can pick one up as well. But all right, so I'll share it with you guys because I think that you guys are probably like, what the hell is he talking about here? So is the one thing that I focus on is simply just not to lose money, right? Like, that is the goal. There's going to be ebbs and flows on Amazon, whether a product sells faster, whether it sells slower, the price goes up, the price goes down. You got to remove emotion from the game of selling online. You know, people are here to make money. Things sometimes can get competitive, but at the end of the day, we're all here to make a profit, right? And the reason why I wanted to revisit this product is actually because it's profitable at the lowest price. Like, if I look at this price, it was just selling in July at $16 to $18, $17. Now it's selling at $14, $13. So it's showing a $2 profit, which, let's see what it's pulling as the sell price here. It's $17.49. So it was pulling this price up here. But that being said, I still want to open up this listing because if the price recently dropped, I wonder if there's a way where I could save that product. And if that price does go back up to $17, $18, then it would make sense to buy. So that's kind of why I want to look at this item and just take a glance at it real quick. Just get an idea of whether or not it might make sense. And we can see a third-party seller is on the listing, even though Amazon is on the listing. And we could also see that the price has been pretty consistent at this $17.49. So at $17.49, and our cost is $669, $202, 12% margin. So I mean, it was worth looking at, but it's probably not a product that you would want to look into or we want to buy. But maybe an item that we could get a discount on. I mean, but that being said, it's consistently profitable. You know, depending on what your expenses are in your business, where you could sticker this product and what's the weight of the item? The weight is 2 pounds, so that's a little bit heavier. But I mean, some businesses would sell this product, and that's why there's offers on this listing, because the price is very consistent. You can make money from it every single month. You know that no matter what. It's almost like the same thing as like why people invest in Section 8 real estate, because they almost know that the income's guaranteed. Every single month, the government's paying for the rent. Even if the rent, they're seeing a cash flow of $300 a month, they know that it's $300 guaranteed. It's almost kind of similar to this type of equation for some sellers on this listing, where maybe not only is their pricing a little bit better than what we're seeing, but even if they were just netting, like let's say that after all expenses, they were at 750. Nah, probably 750 is a little bit too high. Let's say 725, they're netting 8%, $1.50, but they're able to make money on this product every single month, no matter what, over the course of a year. No, if they had $10, it turned into 24, right? So if you had, an example would be like for this is if you have invest $1,000 times 240%, you end up with $2,400. No, it's not a bad gig. Turning $1,000 into $2,400 at the end of the year for an item that you know is going to make you money, it's not a bad gig. I mean, this is a product that we're not going to add, but some people would sell it, and I could understand why. Is there another hand that just went up? I think so. Let's see.
Yes, Paul.
Yes.
If you list a product FBA and Amazon's also selling, if you price over what Amazon is pricing it at, do they suppress you?
So you're saying if you were to price this product, let's say at $20 instead of $19.57. So I don't think that they would suppress you. I just don't think that you would win the buy box.
Okay. I mean, okay.
Yes, Kyle.
My bad. That was left up there.
Oh, you're good. All right, so let's go with this product here. Clearly looks like a 2-pack. We're going to fix that. This product listing here, right? Doesn't make sense. $1.63, 2-pack listing, 13% margin, not worth it. 6 bags, $4.20, 10% gross margin, $210 in profit per sale. Move on. Solo fill, $7, 14% margin, 12-pack. This looks potentially promising. 250 ratings on the listing. Okay, Amazon does look like they came on the product recently. Prices have also been trending down, but it was selling at 44. So that's what we're going to use as the estimate here. And at 44, it's a 6% gross margin, 243. It is 11 pounds. It is also selling as a case. That is the positive in the equation. But we could see at 42, we're breaking even, right? So like this is an item for me. Like I don't see the merit in selling something like this at $49, $50. It's 15% margin, 753, but it weighs 11 pounds. So, at 11 pounds times 30 cents per pound, you're looking at $3.30 for shipping. So the best case scenario is when this price does go back up to $50. I mean, you're looking at an 8% margin before any other expenses. Like, to me, it just doesn't make sense to sell a product like this, at least at a certain scale for majority of businesses. And then also, is there anything else that you guys are seeing in this equation that to me is a little bit of a red flag? I want to see if you guys are picking it up as well.
Amazon likes to sporadically out of nowhere come up.
Yeah, but they aren't winning the buy box. So there is no sign of exclusivity with Amazon. So that is not my main concern here. There's actually one other, it is definitely a concern, but there's one main concern that's popping up.
We should make a video of just Paul's concerns. I'm serious.
Rising seller account. Okay. Yeah.
What the fuck are you looking at? Sorry, I didn't mean to say that.
Well, I mean, you're good. But this is why I like doing these calls, is because to me, there's a red flag that is a direct indication of what's happened to the listing.
Give us a hint.
I mean, the price is slowly falling, perhaps because of the rising seller count.
Yes, rising. So it has to do something with the offer count a little bit, but it's not the full answer.
What about the yellow line? Sales has dropped. Maybe the season.
IP complaints, no, it's not the season, no.
IP complaints would drive the offer count below.
Amazon jumping consistent on the listing and jumping off.
No.
This amount of consistent sellers shows that there's already the same people. I'm shooting the shot in the dark, but it looks like there's been a very consistent offer count for the last 6 months, up and down. So I would assume the same people just keep restocking or kind of running the buy box.
Or they're not selling through.
Oh, yeah, or that.
So if we look at this price on Amazon, because you're right, you got the answer. Why did the price go down? Why did it go from 49 to 42?
People are trying to liquidate their inventory.
Offer count hasn't changed. It stayed the same for the past 6 months, right? So even if you saw this item and this product was selling, right? You could buy this item theoretically saying at $24 and you're making a 17% margin, theoretically, right? This product still wouldn't make sense in your business right now because there's an indication that there is an issue with sellers selling through their inventory. Month over month over month, people have continued to drop their price, not because they want to, but because they have to. They're sitting on inventory. And the indication that that's happening is because the offer count isn't going down, right? If we look at this all-time offer, if we see this as an example, we could see that people are selling through their inventory. There's that indication of this offer count trickling down, going from 18 to 4, which means that people are selling through. That's a good sign. Whereas right now, what we're seeing, which is the offer count. Because anytime that you're looking at a product, like if we open up another product here, let's say we go with this grandpa's product, maybe this item will be selling a little bit better. We're going to see the offer count go down, right? Which is a clear indication that this product is selling. And then that's why the price is, of course, but when the offer count does go up, it rapidly decreases. Over the course of 36 days, people are selling through their inventory, which is a great sign. Because if you overbuy a product, which happens time and time again to Amazon businesses, and I'm speaking from my own personal experience with this type of stuff, is like sometimes you look at an item, you look at the margins, you kind of outweigh these other factors when it comes to buying inventory, and then you buy the product and you're sitting on it for a little while, and you have no way to sell through the product. So something like this, like even though the rank is higher, the rank is 73,000 in beauty, and historically it's right around that 74,000 range. Like the sell-through rate of this product for sellers is great, and it's consistent, right? Every single time you can see that this offer count continues to go up, and then it goes down, and goes up, and then it goes down, and it goes up, and then it goes down, and just consistent. So that's the red flag. Does that make sense? Or does anyone have any questions on kind of what I just went over? Further elaborate? Awesome. Great.
No, that was helpful as hell.
Let's keep
And Paul, could you summarize it? Short file of a cliff.
Yes. Let's see here. Where was that product? It was this product here.
I understood the main point, just to be on the same page, if it makes sense.
Sure. Yeah. So just to wrap it up, the first thing that I actually look at when it comes to a Keepa graph is going to pricing before I look at anything. It's actually going to be this bottom graph, the offer count. And a suggestion that I can make, but outside of, and I'll go over this again, Top G, I just wanted to kind of chime in a little bit more. Yep. Is something that I would suggest I would have the rating and all of these different graphs. And sometimes it's good to look at, all the different data points, but at least for me, it's kind of overwhelming. There's just so many different things to look at. And what I've seen, at least in my experience on Amazon, a lot of this stuff is not really relevant to how we need to source. What we need to simply focus on is just the monthly sold. The subcategory really doesn't matter for what we're doing. And we don't need the list price. We really don't care about FBM because we're competing against FBA, and the new doesn't really matter either. This is what we need to see. Sales rank, buy box, Amazon, third-party FBA, offer count, monthly sold. And just keep it simple for what we're looking at. So the data, these six data points is the only thing that we need to check, right? The checkpoints that we have, those are the checkpoints, 6 checkpoints. Satellite data is in offers. But the main thing for me is I always look at the offer count because the offer count determines the supply and demand of a product. And Amazon is not a complicated marketplace. Once you just simply, like I said earlier, take emotion from the equation and you simply just focus on the supply and demand. Just think about it from a logical standpoint of more supply comes into the market, what happens to the price? It's going to go down. There's less supply in the market, price, right? So if we look at the offer count and we look at how much competition's on a listing, immediately we can almost predetermine what is going to happen with the product that we're selling based on literally just the offer count alone. Are people selling the inventory? Are they not selling the inventory? Is it a competitive product? Is it not a competitive product? How, are there IP complaints? So sell-through inventory, if other people are able to, to sell the product without issues, then we can too, as long as the numbers make sense for us.
100% makes sense.
So,
and Paul, is it possible that let's say one thing more before we go further? So, the payment things about the software. So I had to switch the bank account, right? So I don't have access to that bank account anymore. the I haven't like used the software in couple of days because I had some personal things happening, but the payment didn't went through, not because it had money, but because of I don't have access to that bank account anymore. I switched bank basically. So is it possible when you have time you send me like a Stripe link?
I can speak with my developer and get that
Yeah.
all figured out for you.
Yeah, okay, okay. And I will. So when that's basically it. Okay, okay. Thank you, brother. Thank you.
Of course, man.
You make it so simple. That's what I like about you and Alex.
Well, I just I want to help you guys. I just want to try to break it down. And the game of Amazon can be it can be complicated. There's a lot of moving parts, but once you get used to it, it becomes a lot easier to understand what's happening in the marketplace. Yeah, for sure. I mean, Alex and I are planning on hosting a meetup soon, so I would love
Can you
to.
make like a ecom executives with like a TTP, like a we the members inside the group. So it's good merch just for the members, some the active members, So your brand will reach Norway, brother. I will sell it through.
Yeah, for sure, 100%.
Thank you, brother.
I love all you guys, man. If you guys want a hoodie, just let me know, man. I'll get you guys a hoodie. Anyone that wants one, appreciate you guys. But we'll jump back into this here. So next product we have Andalo Naturals. We got where's the meetup? I think it's gonna be in New Jersey or New York. So we got Andalo Naturals here. So this is a product this is the perfect example, right? So I look at this Keepa graph. Like I said, I don't even look at this price. I don't even care. First thing is I'm looking at this offer count immediately. And to me, this is a good offer count. I'm happy already looking at this product, literally just looking at this offer count. People sold through, people lost money on this item. They're not going to come back on this product. Right now, if I go back to this item here, my cost is $11.33. $9.66. Now down here at this $24 range, still actually would have been pretty profitable. But now is the best time to sell it. Selling back at $29.95, it's probably going to stay at this offer count for pretty long. I'm at a low offer count. So for all of you guys that are actively watching this, you guys should probably look into this listing because now there's 14 people in this. So probably, no, don't buy this product. But to me personally, this would be an item that you would want to buy based on just the offer count, right? Offer count went down. It's consistently low. People are selling it at 29. At the lowest price of 24, we're still making money. At 29, we're making more money. So the gap between the floor and the ceiling to increase probability or profitability is there, which is something that, like I said, I'm trying to look for is either really the two things I'm looking for in a good product is if it's consistently profitable, like every single month, it almost sells for the same exact price, almost looks like it's a MAP price, or the product has a high floor to ceiling ratio, meaning okay, I can make a 5% margin at the lowest price, but I could also make a 35% margin at the highest price that it's sold with a buy box, right? So a good example will be like an item like this. Imagine the price at $24.40 was actually $14.99. So we're looking at an 8% gross margin, but the ceiling price was $39. So there's a $15 spread of opportunity on this item. So I don't really care about this margin here at 8%. I'm looking at the average of what I can gain on this item over the course of selling it for 2, 3, 6, 12 months. Capture some sales at 30 and 34 and 35, and everything will make sense. All average out to probably 15 to 20% more. So sometimes the game of wholesale is also just looking at the law of averages. Just looking at some products. There's going to be competition that comes on a listing. It's fine as long as the numbers make sense over the course of multiple months. Then everything adds up. So this is a product that you want to add to a purchase order here. So we're going to save and add to PO. Susie. Sticker, definitely not going to buy 200 units of that product. We will buy realistically 24 because the offers are low, but still $215 in profit. That's what we're looking for. A few $100 in profit a month. That's it. That is the name of the game. I think for us, our average profit per product is $150 to $250 on average. That's it. That's all I need. And you find 100 items like that. 50 products like that. You guys all have the tools to allow you to do that. And, you know, a lot of people,
What you just said, your average what?
my average total monthly profit for every item that I sell in my store is probably anywhere between 150 to 250, $300 in profit a month.
Gotcha.
Yeah. And then, you know, there's products that we sell that make, you know, a few $1,000s in profit a month. And there's items that we sell that profit a month. You probably shouldn't buy them. You know, it's one of those products where we buy it to test it, doesn't sell as fast as we want. We throw it out, move on from it. And that's it, you know? Yes, Top G.
Hello, brother. So the last question. So when you say like monthly profit, right? What's your like minimum? Is it like 100 to what's your range, right? What's Paul's range?
Well, I think there's a lot of different variables into that equation because not all products and profits are made equal. So what I mean by this is like you could have an item that makes $1,000 in profit a month, but if you're selling paint where people want to see the paint before they go and buy it and test it and whatever, you're gonna have a lot of returns. So what could look like a very profitable product actually could be very unprofitable. Or if you're selling like a lot of glass products, not that there's anything wrong with glass, but if you're, you know, selling glass and your products break because they're not packaged correctly, or there's, you know, the glass that it's made out of is trash, then that's an issue. So what I personally look for in my business when it comes to profit is getting data back from items. And as long as it meets a specific margin and profit, and it's also not super labor intensive and profit a month. If it's a sticker and I could sell that product month over month over month, unless there's an item that I can replace that product with, that would give me a positive increase, I'm going to continue to sell that product because it's better to sell something rather than nothing. And it's better to make money with the money that you have rather than make zero. So, you know, but like, I just think the goal, you know, there really shouldn't be a baseline. It really depends on the data of the item. But I just think the goal of what your business should be is to try a month. If you can find items that make more, then obviously that's even better, right? Like you just compounded the speed in which you'll be able to hit your goals. But if you want to make $10,000 in profit a month, you need 35 items that are going to make $300 in profit per month. Like, you know, that's the goal. That's the target. And there's absolutely zero reason why that anyone can't hit that goal. 35 items. I mean, like this demo account has 90,000 items, 90,000 products in this list. Like there's no way in heck that you cannot find 35 items that'll make $300 in profit per month, or $10 in profit per day, or 3 sales at $3 in profit, a slice of pizza 3 times a day to make
100%. Last question about, are you going to send through mail or private Discord?
For you, for getting me back on the
Yeah.
I'll send it through private Discord for you.
Yeah, okay. Thank you, brother. Looking forward, man. It's like, you know, the love of your life is missing, you know? I need it. Thank you for a session.
X, what's going on?
Hey, Paul, a couple of questions. What's the difference between the column that has the title total profit and net proceeds? And more importantly, if I want, just based on what you said, find items that at least give you, say, $300 in profit a month, which one should I be looking at?
Okay, so the first question was net proceeds. What is
net? Yes, net proceeds.
So net proceeds are going
and Paul, there are so many columns. I love the columns, but is there a way to put a search filter for these columns?
I have asked my development team if it's possible, and my developer said it would be kind of complicated to do, but that is something I would personally love to add, because there is a lot of columns, and realistically we'll probably add more.
Last time I counted, there were 80 plus columns, so that's a lot. Yeah.
So the net proceeds are going to be what's remaining after fees. So for example, this 29.24 is the net proceeds. So if I click on this, it would be 39 minus 585 minus fulfillment fee, whatever gets you the 924 or 29.24. And then once you have the net proceeds are what you're going to get back in your Amazon balance, essentially. So, and then the monthly profit, in terms of like setting filters and stuff like that, or
there's a column that says that has a heading called total profit. There you go, right next to profit margin.
Yeah. So if I was to specifically want to find items that make a few $100s in profit a month and follow that kind of theory that I have, what I would personally do throughout my entire scanner is I would focus on items that can make anywhere between 35 to like $2,500 a month. And that's the filter that I would put. Now, the reason why I put 35 is because there's going to be some products that realistically you could sell a little bit more than what you anticipate. Like at the end of the day, all of the data that's on Amazon is suggestions, right? They're estimates. You don't know how much a product's going to sell until you physically sell it. So I do think kind of setting that range of like 35 to 2,500 bucks is a good range where you can quickly like snipe out products that you can sell. Or even if you want to get more granular and like you have a few 100,000 UPCs in your scanner, like even if you have less than a few hundred, you have like 70,000 in multiple catalogs, you can even just do 75 to 500 bucks, you know, and do a margin greater than, let's do another floor and ceiling. Let's do from 10 to 25. Let's do a profit per sale of greater than $2. And you're going to now see that these margins and profits are a lot more. It's more realistic to Amazon. So like the number, the pot of what's here is significantly smaller. But if we were to source through these items, I have a pretty good idea that these products are going to be pretty solid items with potentially good opportunity because we're getting specific on what we're looking for.
Got it. Brilliant. One more question.
Yes,
What's the difference between?
Honestly, latest sales rank is going to be just what we pulled in from Keepa. So I think it's probably the same thing as where we're pulling it from in terms of Amazon data. So I would say it's like equal to or pretty close to. Yes, Maria. Or I'm sorry, what were we gonna say?
Are you talking to X or?
Yes, Axe. Yes, I heard him say something.
Yeah, I was saying, so you have rank and you have latest sales rank. So when you put the filter between 1 and 250K, I put that filter on latest sales rank, right? Not just rank. Or is it rank and not latest sales rank? Which one?
I would just recommend to do the regular rank column, to be honest. If anything, if you're going to do another rank, I would say that it's probably good to do a longer period of data instead. So, you know, maybe like a sales rank for the past 365. So, you know, that way you get a better gauge of, all right, is it selling? Like, for example, this is a good example. This is 7,400, but in reality, you know, well, I'm sorry, I apologize. It's 368 right now, but in reality, that average rank for the past year is 7,400, where obviously the product, that profit is saying that it's going to be a little bit higher than what it actually is going to be when you open up that item, simply because the rank has changed.
Okay, play around. Okay.
Yeah, Paul, when you said if you have like 35 items making 300 a month on average, have you looked at like the average amount of times you win the buy box to sell for that monthly period, or is there a way to determine that?
So the way that it would be predetermined in the software is by setting up the preferences of the buy box percentage. So that's kind of the theory behind it, is like if a product sells 1,000 times a month, you put in 15%, then you're essentially calculating what your estimated monthly profit would be. And that's the reason why we initially put it into the tool. I think it confused some people, but I honestly think that once a lot of sellers understand the reasoning why behind it, that it makes sense, because you're now focused on what you can sell as a business rather than just anyone can sell in a listing. And if you could target items where you can make still $100 in profit, even after deducting other sellers, then to me, that could be a good listing potentially to sell on.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome. Yes, Top G, you got your hand up. Or if that was from previous.
It was by mistake. It was previous. I will lower my hand. Sorry.
Yeah, no worries, man. So
That was good. Paul, one question. Do you ever use
estimated sales as a filter?
Yeah.
Personally, I don't. I prefer to use how fast a product's going to sell, just simply based
on that.
Yeah, because the biggest thing for me is like I said, I feel like I'm being a little bit redundant with how I say it, but more or less, like at the end of the day, we don't know how fast a product's going to sell until we sell it. So like the estimated sales, even the rank, like the data that's here, it's here to help us make better buying decisions. But the only true way that we're going to know is by testing the product and seeing.
Okay.
So the way that I've always thought about it in my business is that like I would rather look at the product and make that decision and say, you know what, I want to sell this item. This item is not a good product to buy, rather than kind of like flush it away just because of a filter that's set. And then in reality, you could find an item that, you know, could be making a few $100 a month in profit that you could be selling for years and years and years. I mean, there's products that we sell in our business still to this point today that I've literally been selling since I first started my business back in my 2-bedroom apartment with my buddy. Like literally, there's still items that we sell for almost 6 years, 5.5 years. Every single year we've been selling the product. And sure, there's been some times where like we stopped selling it or margins got lower or whatever, but there is like multiple products that have literally built our business that we still sell today, which is incredible. And that's why wholesale is such a powerful model and powerful business, because you know, you all the hard work that you put in today, it's almost like, I don't want to say it's passive income because it's not, but it's like almost like residual in a way where you can forecast that revenue and profit, which is a beautiful thing in terms of a business, because when you're constantly starting at zero every single month from a business, it can be challenging. It can be deflating. So that's the beauty about wholesale, you know?
Thank you.
So of course, anyone have any last questions to kind of wrap up the call? Or awesome. Well, as always, I appreciate everyone's time jumping on the call. Hope you guys enjoyed the call. I love doing these calls that we've been doing with these live sourcing. They've been really, I feel like they've been really good. And kind of diving deeper into Keepa, which at the end of the day is probably the most important part about selling on Amazon. So we're going to continue to do these every single week until I point something out and you guys are like, I got that. I know what he's looking at. That's my goal. So I hope you guys enjoy the rest of your night and take care and crush the rest of the week. Let's make this a good week. So
I hope you guys enjoyed the video, and if you haven't yet signed up for Third-Party Profits, click the link down below to start your 10-day free trial. My team will also onboard you into the system. Hope to see you guys inside and increase your margins and your profits for your Amazon wholesale business. See you in the next video.